Ah!
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Adrian Nyce. Welcome to Mouthin Out. Right now, I am with the voice of the Carolinas, Mister
DJ Chuck T.
Mister DJ Chuck T in the motherfucking building. Where we at, man? What's going on?
Man, we had the Ugly Money Music Summit right outside of Atlanta, Georgia, and Stone Mountain, Georgia. It's actually the biggest music conference in this area, in the Georgia, Florida Panhandle area. Look, anybody who's a somebody is in here. You got a representative from pretty much all of the record labels in here, all of the major DJ coalitions. I mean, there's easily been, I would say, close to 400 to 500 performances so far this weekend. And look,
100?
yeah, man. Look, I mean, I know my stage by itself had 30 people perform.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
And they've been doing it back to back to back, and it's been like 5 different stages, 4 different stages. That's crazy. Um, so you based in the Carolinas.
of course. Yeah.
Let's kind of talk about the music scene in the Carolinas. How do you feel about it?
I feel like it's great. Um, Naturally, we have a lot of things to work on, but when you start trying to match up just our sound versus everyone else's sound, whether it be sound quality, whether it be originality, whether it be style, and not just the style of the rap, but the R&B, jazz. We get into production. We have a lot of great live bands here that play all different genres of music. Um, I feel like the only thing we sort of need help with is avenues to reach the masses.
Facts. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, I mean, we have everything that it takes. I mean, our artists here are just as great as anybody else's. Our DJs here are just as talented as any other DJs. When you look at radio stations, the Carolinas has the highest concentration of urban and R&B radio stations in the country.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? Like highest concentration? Like
So
we play more, or
No, so we have the most urban and R&B radio stations when compared to other regions or other areas. So whereas you may have, one state that only has like 3 hip hop channels, even if you look at North Carolina and South Carolina separately, we still have more urban and R&B stations than anybody else.
so a place like even though New York and LA, even though they have like a bigger hub or whatever you want to call it, it would still be very beneficial for those artists to come through the Carolinas since I guess they do play more urban music.
hmm Yeah, so I mean, from the time I've been in music, the Carolinas has always been the place where people bring their records to get broken. Um, and I mean, we see it as far as live shows go. You'll have an artist go to Charlotte, Columbia, Myrtle Beach, Charleston, Augusta, Raleigh, Greensboro, Fayetteville, Wilmington, and then do it all again in another 30 to 60 days, and they'll clean up that way. They get tons of money, they get tons of exposure, tons of radio. You can't do that anyplace else.
We got the HBCUs, like a large percentage of them.
Yep, so we have the highest concentration of HBCUs and military bases.
That's crazy. I never even think about that stuff though when you put it in perspective. But I guess if you're trying to break an artist, you need to know that type of stuff
No,
strategically.
you're correct. That's how I used to break myself. I knew that I just didn't have the resources at the time to go to New York on a regular basis, go to Atlanta on a regular basis, go to Miami on a regular basis, or fly to the West Coast and go to San Francisco and LA on a regular basis. Even with Houston, I had a huge buzz in Houston whenever I was doing mixtapes, but that was mainly because, um, you know, they had a really really tight independent music community. So when you mess with one of them, you mess with them all. But I had to utilize HBCUs. I had to utilize the military bases and all that in order to get my mixtapes out to the world.
So you do a lot of things, and like you said, you have done a lot of things in the past in your career. What are you kind of focused on right now? What you know, top couple of things.
So right now, my main focus is music education. I feel like we make the money, we have the outlets to get everything out there, but we're still missing a whole lot.
And I'm crashing the Mouthin Out podcast with DJ Chuck T. Last time I did this, the camera won't on. We live at the Ugly Money Music Summit. Holla at DJ Chuck T. You know everything about everything. All the weird Jeopardy moments and shit, the Jeopardy questions, Chuck T know all that shit. It's that ugly money.
Ugly Money. Ugly Money Nietzsche in the building.
He came in and really was touched on what we were just talking about. So yeah, my main goal right now is education. Just trying to make sure that we know how to protect our rights. And when I say we, I mean the creators. You know, doesn't matter what genre of music, doesn't matter what age, race, sex, religion, you know, color, creed, any of that. You know, as long as the creators are able to sustain a living off of what they do and get a fair share of what they make, we can keep the cycle going. But right now, you know, everything sort of has become mechanized, and that's because everything is running through the labels, and the labels are called a machine for a reason. Everything is cookie cutter, everything is assembly line, like the way these artists look, the way they rap, the way they dress, you know what I'm saying, the production, the way the music sounds. And a lot of that is because the machine is in control. But if we can make the money ourselves, we can start taking some of the power back.
So speaking of money and artists making money from their brand, their music, I think you had said one thing, like if you're an artist and someone can't come to you and spend at least $100 or something like that. Kind of just retouch on that and what you mean by that.
So you know, I tend to do a little bit of, you know, digging whenever it comes to how the major labels work. A lot of that stuff is so that, you know, I can figure out how the creators can sort of, you know, protect themselves and get their fair share of their money. But a lot of it has to do with how are they still churning out big artists, you know, on a regular basis, and how they maintain their chokehold on just that whole pipeline of getting artists out there. And a lot of it is because of, you know, their marketing skills. A lot of people don't know the difference between marketing and promotion. Promotion is building awareness. Marketing is how are we going to sell this product. So one thing that the labels do is they have $100 rule. At any given time, when somebody comes to their artist or likes an artist or learns about an artist online, how can we sell that person $100 worth of product from that artist? Naturally, we know streaming is only what, point, you know, zero, 0.0036 a stream. So that has nothing towards $100. People say, oh, streaming, you know, but having limited edition merchandise. A limited edition T-shirt can run $100. Boom, right there. A hoodie could be $200, limited edition. Letterman jacket, you know, hats, you know, whether it be trucker hats or whether it be fitteds or whether it be snapbacks. We're talking about limited edition CDs and DVDs and records. Records actually, the record sales. I'm just talking about
vinyl.
Vinyl record sales have risen over the last 5 years.
Might be a little comeback, look.
Exactly, you know, NFTs. You know me. I went out and got I got posters coming with calendars. So they're 11 by 17 calendars hanging on the wall. You see Chuck T for 15 months. You know what I'm saying? And they got a spot on so I can sign them. So I had the calendars coming.
It's fire.
And then I have the collector's edition trading cards. Just like
I saw those. Yeah. That is fire. That's something different too. People definitely not thinking of that. So going back to education, so you do teach classes. What's the name of your class, and how can people tap in?
Gotcha. Yeah. So I'm about to run go sit on this panel real quick, grab a chair. But
give me social.
Gotcha. So if you want to learn more about the music industry, from protection to payment to making sure that you're marketing and promoting yourself promoting yourself right, and you're setting yourself up to be able to make all the music you can and make all the money off of the music that you can, period, point blank. It's called The Foundation of Music. And on social media, it's at The Foundation of Music. You can follow me at DJ Chuck T on all platforms. For more information about me, you can either log on to djchuckt.com or you can text 843-279-8483. Again, that's 843-279-8483, and the message will come right to me and we can communicate directly.
Definitely make sure y'all tap in with him. A well of wisdom, a well of knowledge, someone you definitely want to be in contact with or just get taught from, et cetera, et cetera. I'm your host, Adrian Nyce. This is Mouthin Out, and we are out. Peace.
tell me where you been. It's Adrian Nyce, that's what I'm riding out of eye. Interviewing your favorite guest while I'm trying to stay fly.